Well, maybe I'll do a quick overview of the project. It's a one-year discovery project funded by the Pew Center for Arts and Heritage. And its main purpose is to lay the groundwork for what we hope will be a much more comprehensive long-term follow-up project. And that follow-up project has two primary goals. One is to create a Philadelphia Jazz Archives, so to actively seek out, collect, preserve, make available archival materials that document Philly jazz. And then the other component of the follow-up project would be to explore ways to use these archival materials programmatically. Obviously, they would be used for research, but also for educational programs and hopefully for artistic programmatic activities. So performing arts, visual arts. In what ways could these materials be actively used, or could they inspire or inform artistic interpretive programming? It's a discovery project, so the purpose is to gather as much input from as many thought leaders and active people in the field to help inform the process. So a discovery process is a little more open-ended and seeking input, and you don't really know exactly where you're going. So, we're going to be asking a lot of questions and expressing a lot of ideas, and that's the whole purpose of why we're here. And it's a cooperative project between Jazz Bridge, which is the fiscal sponsor and fiscal agent, and the Clef Club, and Philadelphia Jazz Project. Part of what we're going to do in the discovery phase is do some surveying of archival materials out in the field, go into musicians' homes, see what collections they have, to get a sense of what's out there, the scale and the scope and the nature of the materials, so that we have a sense of how to plan for an eventual archival facility. We're also going to do some oral history interviews in this discovery project, all laying the groundwork for, again, that larger follow-up project.
Right.
So a little bit about me. I'm an archivist and historian by profession. I have managed a lot of archival projects and public history projects, including creating archival programs from scratch. I've done a good bit of that. I specialize in particular in Philadelphia music history. I write about it, I give tours, lectures, manage projects like this. I'm the consulting archivist for the Philadelphia Orchestra and for the Mann Music Center, and I've been involved in a lot of Philadelphia music history projects over the years. So that was the sort of genesis for trying to get this project going.
I'm a longtime jazz singer-songwriter in Philadelphia, and I have a doctorate in American Studies from University of Pennsylvania, and my main thrust was the Philadelphia jazz community. And I did life history, oral life histories on major musicians, some of which are no longer with us. And I have a lot of interviews on cassette tapes in my house, which hopefully will become part of this archive eventually. And so that's why I'm on the I'm also a co-founder of Jazz Bridge. So.
My name is Ann Edmonds, and I am known as a strategic planning consultant as well as fundraiser. My main focus has been for over 30 years working with organizations or agencies such as the National Endowment for the Arts. I've served as an evaluator for over 10 years. The Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, I've worked with the Pennsylvania Council as a consultant for almost 30 years or more. And I'm the founding director of, many of you may know, of the City of Philadelphia's Philadelphia Cultural Fund. I established the fund with city council members as well as the mayor for that fund more than 25 years ago. My role here at the Philadelphia Clef Club, I am their development specialist and also their planning consultant. And so I'm here to support the board and staff on institutional advancement.
I'm Jim Miller, drummer and administrative assistant / treasurer of Jazz Bridge. and also ran a label for 30 years called Dreambox Media that is quite a archival thing that I hope can be a part of this. You know, about 60 or 70 different artists, but a lot of them put out multiple stuff. So we put out about 100 CDs over the course of time, and hope that can be a nice contribution to this project.
I'm J. Michael Harrison, host and producer at WRTI 90.1 FM, Philadelphia, and consultant stakeholder here at the Clef Club. Curate with venues like the Painted Bride Arts Center and the Kimmel Center and the Clef Club. How much further should we go? But I think that's the essential, and just a totally invested in the jazz and music community in Philadelphia and beyond.
I'm Herman Beavers. I'm a professor of English and Africana Studies at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm also a poet. I teach a course. I haven't taught it since 2012, but if I ever find the money again, I teach a course called The Literatures of Jazz, which culminates with our students putting on a free concert in West Philadelphia at the Rotunda. Have been active with the Philadelphia jazz community in a bunch of different ways, mostly having people come in and talk to the class, but other stuff. I'm a jazz studies scholar, so I've published stuff on jazz. And Susanna was my student.
Oh, really? That's good.
And somehow she's still sitting here. I didn't screw her up. And really just happy to be here and support what it is that we're doing in any way that I can.
I'm Faye Anderson. I'm director of All That Philly Jazz, which is a public history project, mapping and documenting Philadelphia's jazz venues and landmarks. I'm a civic app developer, and All That Philly Jazz stems from a music-related hackathon at Drexel University. And what I'm working on now is developing an augmented reality jazz walk.
Homer, we're all introducing ourselves, who we are and what we do, so you jump right in.
Hi, I'm Homer Jackson, Philadelphia Jazz Project. Hi. We present performances, we do workshops, public discussions, expanding the audience and the conversation on the music.
Hi, I'm Louis Porter. I'm a jazz pianist, and many years ago I got a doctorate in musicology, so I've also taught mostly at the Rutgers Newark campus, but also 4 or 5 other schools over the years. And also have done a lot of writing about jazz, and probably the publication that people know best is my Coltrane book.
Yeah.
I'm Jermaine Ingram. I've fully recovered from legal practice of 30 years. And I'm a performing artist, a dancer, choreographer, vocal improviser. I've worked with and collaborated with a number of jazz musicians who are based in Philadelphia, including Tyrone Brown, Odin Pope, Diane Monroe, Bobby Zankel, Dave Farrell, and others. I'm a professional meddler, so I'm really happy to be able to meddle here.
Diane Turner. I'm a curator of the Charles L. Blockson Afro-American collection, where we collect, preserve, and disseminate information about people of African descent, highlighting Philadelphia. I'm a historian by training and have extensive reach back into the Philadelphia jazz community because of my research on Musicians Protective Union Local 274, which I was introduced to by a man by the name of Franklin Walker when I was involved at the African American Museum, and Rowena Stewart decided to do an exhibit, Sounds of the City. And so I was able to get my dissertation topic. Over the years, I worked with Spencer Weskin, who had Jazz Live at the African American Museum. So Spencer, myself, Clark White, who was at Temple, and Bayard Lancaster, we created this organization called Jazz and Blues People's Collective. And besides all the interviews and research I was doing, we started holding meetings throughout the city with jazz musicians to determine what their issues were and what they wanted, because through my research I found that oftentimes black music in general is interpreted, but it's interpreted from the outside, and you don't get a sense of what it's about unless you really understand the history and culture around it. So I was trying to empower them to tell us what they wanted. So Suzanne asked me to get involved,
Yeah.
and so here I am.
I'm Jeff Duperon. I'm a host and curator of Culturally Vibrant Music on WRTI. I'm also a producer of a Wednesday night series at South Jazz Club in Philadelphia. And I'm the executive director for the Jazz Bridge Project. We are, along with Homer Jackson and Melissa, representing the Philadelphia Jazz Project, and Ann representing the Philadelphia Clef Club, are the project partners. So we're the folks, that have gotten together and said, this is needed in our community, and we want to have this become a reality. And so we reached out to all of you individuals to be on our advisory panel to help us make this become a reality. And we hope this is going to be a successful project as we move forward. And as Jack mentioned earlier, this is just the foundation, because there's so many opportunities for programmatic content that it's just amazing, the opportunities that we will have in the future from a lot of different organizations in this room.